Good morning, everyone, and welcome to those of you who knew about the time change or whose phones did the time change for you. I'm Reverend Erin Walter, and I'm so happy you're here this morning. We are a vibrant church, and thus we have a robust list of announcements this morning that I am happy to share with you before we get into the spirit of worship. Let's see, we are kicking off another round of circle dinners, which are a great way to connect socially with a small group of people. Groups of 6 to 9 people will meet for 3 to 4 potluck meals in each other's homes. For more information, please see the Friday email newsletter that I hope you are reading religiously, or stop by the table in House and Hall after church. Pie Day is next Sunday. The first UU pie contest categories are sweet, savory, and vegan. To enter, bring a pie before service and contact info@austinuu.org. Next, I would like to mention that the Path class is March 22nd, that's a Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. in House and Hall. It's the last class before the new minister, a second minister, in addition to Reverend Chris, who's on sabbatical, will be voted in. You need to be a member to vote, so this is your last pathway to membership class, which we call PATHS class for short. So make sure to get signed up for that if you're not a member yet and you want to be part of our democracy around here. Senior lunch speaker for March 12th is Peter Langlois, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Peter, who will take us through the Passion Test, a simple, structured, fun way to get more clear on how to start living a more passion-filled life today. Lunch is $5, no reservations required, all welcome, even if you're not a senior. Again, that's March 12th. Join the Resistance with Joy by attending an Austin Sanctuary Network meeting on Wednesday, March 12th at 7 p.m. We have your March 12th all planned out for you. ASN is in solidarity and an ally with immigrant justice community work. We watch films, advocate for constitutional rights, answer a hotline, accompany friends to San Antonio for immigration court hearings or ICE appointments, and raise funds to support our immigrant community. Again, Wednesday, March 12th at 7, this time at our sibling UU Congregation Wildflower Church, 1314 East Oltorf. Welcome, we're in announcements if you're arriving now. The organization that I lead, the Texas UU Justice Ministry, invites you to the Texas Capitol for Legislative Action Day coming up Monday, March 17th, plus bonus interfaith events on March 16th and 18th. You can talk to me after church or see txuujm.org to register. There's a youth caucus, singing, it's going to be awesome. And we still need local home hospitality. So if you have one room in your house that a UU from Dallas or Carrollton or anywhere around Texas could stay with you for a night or two, that would help so much. Let me know. Celeste Padilla is also coordinating home hospitality from First UU. You can look for her. Okay, we keep going. 1 p.m. Reproductive Justice Team is screening the second of 4 films, Jaworski versus Texas, Pizza and Salad, $5 before the film in House and Hall. Okay, 2 more. Each Sunday, you guys, it's a vibrant time. One of our caring companions is designated to be available at the front of the sanctuary after the service to listen to any immediate pastoral needs and assist you with connecting for additional pastoral support if you would like. Today's caring companion is Beverly Tolbert. Beverly, are you visible? Thank you, Beverly. Wonderful. And on each Sunday, we light candles in the sanctuary along the windows to mark sacred moments in our lives. Although we do have a time set aside during worship to note these candle lightings, you are also welcome and invited to light candles at any time before or during the service as you feel so moved. Now, Let all who have gathered in beloved community, whether in virtual space or in person, join our spirits in worship together. Good morning. Happy South by Southwest to all who celebrate. I am the Reverend Erin Walter, proud to serve for the next couple months as your sabbatical minister. We are so happy for Reverend Chris to get that sacred time of renewal and restoration, and I'm grateful to be working with my colleague, Reverend Michelle LaGrave, again. I use she, her pronouns. Welcome if you are online or here at First UU Church of Austin. We're a spiritual community dedicated to a free and responsible search for truth, meaning, and beauty. I especially want to welcome you if you are new to the congregation. Every single one of us was new at some point. Even if, like me and the babies getting dedicated today, you were new as a baby. So welcome to the new folks. If you're joining remotely, please say hello in the comments. Let us know where you're viewing from. If you're here in person, please join us for social hour after worship. We invite you to fill out an online visitor form at austinuu.org. Simply click on worship, which will then show you a link to the form. We would love to get to know you better. We come from a long tradition of seeing a spark of the divine in everyone. And so in that living tradition that we keep building together, I invite you to greet the holy among us this morning, either in the comments or by turning to someone around you and saying good morning. Keep that vibe going after church. Let's keep that good vibe going after church and throughout the week. I would like to invite you now to join me in the words by which we light our chalice, the symbol of our faith. This is the flame we hold in our hearts as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine upon systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Michelle LaGrave, your co-lead interim minister. I am a kind of short white woman wearing a rainbow stole and glasses, and my pronouns are she, her. Our opening call to worship is from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Every little thing that breaks your heart is welcome here. We'll make a space for it, give it its due time and praise for the wanting it represents, the longing for something more, some healing hope that remains, not yet. We promise no magic, no making it all better, but offer only this circle of trust, this human community that remembers, though imperfectly, that sings and prays, though sometimes awkwardly. This gathering that loves, though not yet enough. We're still practicing, after all, still learning, still in need of help and partners, still becoming able to receive all this beauty and all these gifts we each bring. Come, let us worship together. And let us begin by rising either in body or spirit and singing together hymn number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
That is, sorry, I'm loud. That is one of my all-time favorite hymns. I love it so much. I sang it every week during the pandemic. It was one of those things that really got me through. And our mission is another thing that we experience together every week, and that is a source of, that rock that we cling to. We wrote it together as a congregation. It's our common purpose. I think a lot of us have it memorized, but we put it on the wall so we could all say it together, even if it's your first Sunday. Will you say it with me now? Together, we nourish souls, transform lives, and do justice to build the beloved community.
You're welcome to sing with me. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
What a gift, the music. I always tell people, if you love live music, church is a great place to get that every week. And we are so overjoyed to have a child dedication today. In fact, two. I invite the children to come up for this joyous occasion to recognize and welcome our new folks into the circle of love. Kids, every day that a child is born is a miracle, an opportunity to recognize the power of love, a day to give thanks for the beauty in this world, a day to recognize that no one is brought up alone, and that every person born into the world changes the world. You do. Welcome to this circle of love as we work to dedicate ourselves and each other to this care. Wyatt and Gino, we recognize all who have gathered here now and those who are away by distance and time. We honor the ancestors who have left this world but not our hearts, and we welcome them here in spirit, especially Wyatt's grandmother, Jill Kerwin, and Gino's great-grandfather, Eugene Anthony Bova.
So are all the kids and youth up here who want to be? Yeah? You're sure? Because I'm seeing quite a few still out there. You get to participate in this, so come on up if you'd like, and you could have a seat facing this way so that you can help out and see what's going on. Do you want to be able to see what's going on? Okay, so if you turn this way and face the babies, you'll be able to do that. And if you want to sit, you can. You don't have to stand, but either way, we'll make it work. Yeah, all right. So, I'm going to hold this rose, and we'll do Wyatt's family first, and then we'll do Gino. So parents, what is the full name of this child?
Wyatt Smith Joyce.
Wyatt Smith Joyce. We welcome you and your unique traits and gifts to this church community. We bless you with this rose, different from every other rose in the world, and a symbol of your uniqueness. Water is the stuff of life, essential to life. Water connects all living things, all of humanity. The rose dipped in water reminds us of your essential connection to this community. May your thoughts be free. May your mouth speak truth. May your heart know love. May your hands do the work of compassion and justice. And Gino, would you like to come over for a moment? Yeah. Parents, what is the full name of this child?
Eugene J. Bova.
Eugene J. Bova. We welcome you and your unique gifts to this church community. We bless you with this rose, different from every other rose in the world, as a symbol of your uniqueness. Water is the stuff of life, essential to life. Water connects all living things, all of humanity. The rose dipped in water reminds us of your essential connection with this community. May your thoughts be free. We're skipping right to the lips. May your thoughts be free. May your lips speak truth. May your heart know love. And may your hands do the work of justice in this world. Would you like the whole rose? Or do you want Mom to hold it? Yeah. There. Parents and godparents, are you ready to dedicate Wyatt and Gino to this world? If so, please say, we are. We are. Wyatt and Gino, we welcome you among us. Family and congregation, please join me in saying, we give thanks for your new life. The words should be coming up on a slide. Oh, and they're not. So you'll repeat after me too. We give thanks for your new life.
We give thanks for your new life.
And for the new hope you bring.
And for the new hope you bring.
Members and friends, adults, youth, and children of First UU Church of Austin, no child grows up outside the influence of this community, and no parent raises a child alone. If our hopes for Wyatt and Gino are to blossom, we must water them with love and commitment, creating the community for them that we wish to see flourish in their time. Do you promise to freely and wisely love this child, these children, to offer them your steady presence and best selves, to nurture and sustain them and their family as they learn and grow and change together? If so, please say, we do.
We do.
Children and youth of the church, do you promise to welcome Wyatt and Gino into your community and be an example to them as they get older and learn together? Please say yes.
Yes.
Where are we? Okay. Let us join our hearts together in the spirit of prayer and meditation. We give thanks for these new lives that have come among us. Each new child brings us new hope for a new beginning. We see the great potential that lies in every human life, and we know these children will bring their unique gifts to humanity if we help them to do so. May we recognize and nurture the unique gifts of these children, and through all the challenges and joys to come, may these children's lives be blessed with hope, courage, and love. Blessed be Ashe and Amen.
Welcome. And for those of you who are going out to the playground for the rest of the service, we will sing you out.
Each year, the members of First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin select a group of nonprofits that are building the beloved community in our area. On the second Sunday of the month, we take up an offering that we give away to support these organizations and feature a representative who highlights the great work of one of them. If you are with us online, you may go to austinuu.org and click Second Sunday Special Offering in the drop-down box. Here in the sanctuary, the ushers will gratefully accept the monthly special offering after a few words from Jennifer from Casa Marianella, whom we are thrilled to invite to let us know a little bit more.
Good morning. It's so nice to be living in an alternate universe here where love matters. Yeah. I'm Jennifer Long. I'm the co-executive director of Casa Marianella. And the good news is we're still open, which unfortunately I can't say for so many of the people who are working with refugees around the world. In 2024, we resettled 513 people from 43 countries. Those people included Russians who spoke out against the war in Ukraine, Iranians who demonstrated against women having to wear headscarves, Afghan women who, if they're sent home, won't be able to go to school or work, and Venezuelan young men who were forced to join the military even though they don't support the government there. Once people come to Casa Marianella, they're given 3 months of shelter. In that time, they get access to medical care, legal services, and English classes. At the end, we help them to find housing. And it is an absolute honor to do this work. We actually have no idea what might happen in the next year. Obviously, we're living in an environment in which helping people from other countries is considered criminal. I'm so sad that we are letting go of our long tradition of helping people in the world and that we think we're living in a time of scarcity when we really aren't. So grateful to this congregation for your support over the past 39 years, and thank you so much for supporting Casa Marianella.
Thank you, Jennifer, for being with us. And thank you also to Michael West and U Bar U. I know U Bar U was in the list today, and we had just a misprint, but you'll be able to talk with folks about U Bar U at another time as well. Thank you. All right. Please give generously and support this important work. The offering will be gratefully received.
I don't have anything to say.
Well, I do, but it might not be interesting to anyone.
I have secrets inside of me and struggles, and I don't know if I'm ready to share them.
I want to hear what you have to say.
I want to speak of the deepest things together.
I want to hear what you dream about, what you hope for.
I want to know how you have come to arrive at this resting point along your journey.
What if I speak and you don't understand me?
I will listen and listen again until my hearing becomes understanding.
What if I can't find the words to share the world inside of me?
I believe that wise words will emerge from you.
How can I trust you to hold my life stories, you who I may not even know?
By knowing that as I receive part of your story, I will give you part of mine.
How will this work? What will happen? What awaits us?
We can find out anything by beginning.
Let us begin to listen and trust and to deeply know one another.
May it be so. Please join me in a time of meditation and prayer followed by silence. Find a comfortable place in your seat. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Find a way to ground yourself and take a deep breath in. This is our time to center ourselves together, to breathe together. We breathe in and out, out and in. And breathing together, we follow our breath to a deeper place inside, a place of greater wisdom, a place where a spark of the divine resides within each of us. In and out, out and in. As we begin to transition into a time of silence, let us hear these words from Julie Fehrenbacher. This is what silence said to me today. Trust what you can't see. Move forward despite the wobbly groundlessness of I don't know. Breathe, love, create, show up. It's all a doorway, a hand leading you back to grace. I invite you to light a candle now if you are so moved. These candles represent sorrow, joy, remembrance, resilience, whatever it is that you need to honor during this time. And as we light these candles, I invite you to keep in your mind and heart all the members of our community who may be ill or in sorrow, as well as those who are celebrating joys. Now, let us hold the silence together as we light our candles and continue to meditate.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of love. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up, bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of hope. A city of love.
And now we light one last candle for all those for whom there is no one to light a candle. Our second reading comes from Adrienne Marie Brown. Trust the people who move toward you and already feel like home. Trust the people to let you rest. Trust the people to do everything better than you could have imagined. Trust the people and they become trustworthy. Trust that the people are doing their work to trust themselves. Trust that each breach of trust can deepen trust or clarify boundaries. Trust the people who revel in pleasure after hard work. Trust the people who let children teach, remind us how to emote, be still, and laugh. Trust the people who see and hold your heart. Trust the people who listen to the wails. Trust the people, and you will become trustworthy. Trust the people and show them your love. Trust the people.
This morning, I will begin with an assertion, followed by many, many questions, which in turn are sprinkled with a few stories and almost no answers. Our topic today is trust, specifically building communities of trust, and it is one that is particularly tender during this time, I think. And we are going to sort of preach this sermon together. So are you ready for something a little different, a little more participatory? We've got things for the introverts and for the extroverts today. My assertion is this: trust is an essential component of beloved community. If trust is not present, beloved community is not possible. Beloved community or communities are communities of trust. Trust, like beloved community, must be built, created, and when broken, restored. The higher the level of trust, the closer we come to true beloved community. So I'll repeat my assertion because this is the foundation of what we are going to do together this morning, and it was kind of a lot packed into a few sentences. Trust is an essential component of beloved community. If trust is not present, beloved community is not possible. Beloved community, or communities, while we're working on the greater community, are communities of trust. And trust, like beloved community, must be built, created, and when broken, restored. The higher the level of trust, the closer we come to true beloved community. So my first questions, these are for the introverts, because I'll say them a couple of times and then I'll pause for a few moments of quiet reflection. We have ideas about what beloved community might mean that come from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it has been many decades since we lost Dr. King, and so ideas about beloved community have evolved since then. So what does beloved community mean to you? And what is the role of trust in building beloved community? What does beloved community mean to you now, today? And what is the role of trust? Next questions. How do we build trust? How do we create it? This is the participatory part, where we get some ideas flowing. Reverend Aaron will call on a few people, let's say maybe 3, to share their ideas and then repeat what they've said into the microphone so we can all hear both in this room and online. For those of you who are online, you can type your thoughts into the chat if that's available to you in your method and begin a parallel discussion to ours here in the sanctuary. So here are the questions again. How do we build trust? In other words, where trust is already present, how do we increase or build our level of trust with each other? And how do we create trust? In other words, when we meet people for the first time or they are new to us, how do we begin the process of trusting each other? How do we build? How do we create trust? Some ideas.
Yeah.
Just-
You can say it real loud and then I'll repeat on the mic.
Okay, I think you can create trust with new people by using the platinum rule, treat others the way they want to be treated. And if people see that you treat them the way that they like to be treated, they might trust you more.
Awesome. Okay, Nick said that with new people in particular, but with anyone, right, we can create trust with the platinum rule. And if you haven't heard of the platinum rule, that's treat others the way they would like to be treated, right? So that requires us to invite them to tell us and to notice how they'd like to be treated. Thank you, Nick. Would you like to rise?
I think through communal cooking and eating together, the sacredness of what we put in our bodies as a kind of like a group activity is the way to build trust.
Awesome. The person whose bow I have been coveting, LP, who has an amazing bow, said that one way that we can build communal trust is through shared cooking and that sacred process of breaking bread together. Thank you. How about this side? One more.
I think that inconveniencing ourselves for the benefit of others, going out of our way to do things to support those in our community, will make them, will create that trust so that in times of even more need, they will feel more comfortable reaching out, as opposed to always having to kind of wait for it to be offered, but inconveniencing yourself for others.
Thank you. Inconveniencing yourself for others so that people know when they really do need to ask, that you've demonstrated that they won't be a burden and you're willing to do things. Did I kind of get that close? Awesome. Thank you. May I do one more? I saw Russell's hand.
Sure.
Okay.
I think to create trust, when you meet somebody new, you really have to be open and listen without any preconceptions or bias. Just really sincerely listen and be open.
Thank you, Russell. Russell said to really sincerely be open when you meet someone, just to demonstrate that sincerity and openness in your listening, and I felt that in your responsiveness as well, a quality of presence and openness. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are some wonderful ideas to get started. So yes, we can allow ourselves to be known. We can share our stories. We can open ourselves to those more vulnerable places inside that go even deeper, help us move even deeper into relationship. We can listen deeply without judging, without interrupting, without spending our time while listening actually planning to say how we're going to respond. We can hold confidences when they are shared with us. We can act with integrity, which is one of our UU values. And I think we can see, without my saying too much about it, why, if my assertion about trust is true, our chalice circles and wellspring groups, which for those of you who are new are small group ministries where people share deeply about monthly themes like trust, which is this month's theme, are so important. They're not just important for our spiritual growth, but also for building trust and building the health of our community. So I have a story. Long ago, just before I headed out to seminary, I was a preschool teacher. And one day I was presented with an opportunity to get to know one of the teachers better. I shared with her confidentially that I had felt called to ministry and would be going to seminary in the fall. Not long after that conversation, I got called to the office and asked about my future plans. The other teacher had betrayed my trust and shared with the director that I would be leaving. An uncomfortable conversation ensued, and I shared my plans with the director in a way and with a timing that I had not chosen. I was hurt, and what I thought of as a newly developing friendship was damaged. I later came to understand that she was operating out of what she thought of as the best interests of the students and the school. She did not want me to wait too long to share my news and risk my position going unfilled. Of course, I would have preferred she come to me with her concern and share that and encourage me to share my news instead of doing it for me. But I need to honor within myself that she did have good intentions. And what she did not know was that I was considering two options, one that would have required me to move away and live on campus and leave my position as a teacher, and the other, which was nearby and would have allowed me to take classes in the evening and maintain my job teaching during the day for the next few years. I had not shared my plans with the director because I had not yet decided which path I would take to becoming a minister. And then I felt rushed in making that decision because the director then wanted to know. At the time, I did not have the skills to address this break in relationship with the other teacher. If I had, I would have asked her to share with me why she made the decision she did and listened to what she had to say. And then I would have shared my perspective, including my feelings of hurt and betrayal, and also the missing information she did not have. And then to ask if there was a way we could restore our relationship. So I'm not naive. I think few of us are. We know that every time we choose to trust, we are choosing risk. There is always the possibility that confidences will be broken, that our trust will be betrayed. Trust is broken in ways little and big all the time. We are imperfect humans. The key is to trust each other enough to work to restore trust, to do the work of repair, and to know that sometimes this doesn't happen, that the work of repair doesn't happen, that people can and do do decline our overtures to restore relationship. And still, we must find a way to be at peace with their decision, a decision which is outside of our control. And yet, still, all remain in beloved community together. I also want to acknowledge that sometimes, in certain very extreme circumstances, we really need to shift how we understand trust for our own spiritual and mental health. There are, after all, people who are sociopaths and psychopaths out there in this world. Yes, I'm using the lay terms here. In these circumstances, when someone is incapable of being trustworthy in the way we usually think of trustworthiness, we can still trust them to be who they actually are. I learned this from speaking with someone recently about the challenge of finding hope within our current political climate. She shared with me that she trusts a particular leader to mess up so badly at some point that he will actually wind up creating an opening for change. She trusts him to be who he actually is instead of who she wishes he would be, and she does it in a way that creates hope. She trusts him to mess up, to create the opening, and therein lies the hope. By the way, since it is a sermon after all, faith is actually trust, plus an element of the transcendent. Whether that is God or some universal force bigger than ourselves. So it would also be appropriate, if you'd like, to think of all of this in the terms of the word faith. So returning to relationships here in this congregation, in this community, with people being imperfect, with people being prone to messing up unintentionally or otherwise. Can we trust that when trust is broken, as it will be, that we have a covenant and a team and processes that can help us find a way through to restoring relationships? Can we trust that when we do the work of restoration, sometimes we don't do it as well or as smoothly as we'd like, and yet there still is integrity to engaging that process? Can we trust that this congregation, or whatever other setting you may find yourself in, is healthy enough to allow for places of discomfort, such as when apologies or olive branches are not immediately accepted? Can we trust this congregation, this community, to still hold and love us all, to know and accept that we all belong, even in our imperfection? There's a lot to think about, and I don't have all of the answers. I am looking to all of you to help with finding the answers within. Especially since I will be leaving soon, and this will remain your community, but not mine. I will say that I do believe you can do this, that I have faith in all of you. One last story, and then a final challenge. I once worked at a church as an interim. You know that I've moved from church to church to church, traveling around the country doing this interim work, specialized work. And as usual, I began with a startup workshop where a consultant from the UA's regional office came in and worked with all of us about roles and responsibility and making sure we had clarity about who had the authority to, and the expectation to do what between the minister and the board and the congregation and the RE teacher. So in this case, the consultant asked the assembled group, the congregation, if it was okay for the ministers to speak up on their behalf. This was meant to be a provocative question that would open a great deal of discussion. Instead, the response was, yeah, of course. We trust our ministers to speak up for us. The consultant was a bit flabbergasted because most of our congregations do not allow for this. And this is where the challenge comes in. First UU is one of those congregations that prohibits its ministers from speaking up in public on their behalf. Ministers are free only to speak for themselves. It's a little bit of splitting hairs when you're out there in public to say, I speak only for myself, but I am the minister of this congregation. People don't really hear it that way anyway. This has been how it has been in most UU congregations. But I wonder if it's time for a change. We are living in a world and in a nation which is rapidly changing. We are living in a time of rising fascism. The prohibition of ministers speaking up on behalf of their congregations may have served its purpose in its time, and there may have been reasons for it, good, valid reasons. But is it still helpful now? Does this time call for something different? For a new way of being in the world? What would it be like to trust your ministers to speak up with the full weight of the congregation behind them? Out there in the public square while we are fighting authoritarianism and fascism. What would it be like to trust your ministers to be able to speak up immediately about the wrongs they see in the world and in this nation without having to go through a many months long process of congregational discernment and resolution making? What would it be like to trust your ministers to be able to judge for themselves when a particular issue is too sensitive to speak out about immediately, and to trust that the ministers will take you through that process of congregational discernment when necessary? What would it be like to be able to trust on this level? There are stories in this congregation and in all of our congregations about ministers being human. That's a rumor. From making relatively minor mistakes to doing serious harm to outright misconduct. What would it look like for a congregation, for this congregation, to fully heal from the past, to accept that mistakes were made, that problems arose, and then to trust that a new way can be made? This, by the way, especially for those of you visiting with us today, applies just as well to our families and our workplaces as it does our congregation. What would you, as a congregation or some other group of people, be able to do in this world if your leaders were well and fully trusted? What would you be able to do in this world if you well and fully trusted each other? I don't have all the answers for you, just a few ideas and a lot of questions. What I do know, though, is that whatever you would be able to do with this level of trust would be nothing short of absolutely transformative, just like it says right up there in your mission. Transform lives. And I have faith that this community can find a way. Amen, and blessed be.
Will you rise with me in body and or spirit as we sing together hymn number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
Trust the wisdom in each other.
Please join me in the words by which we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again.
May we remember that trust, like love, grows in small moments, in promises kept and confidences held, in boundaries respected and amends made. In showing up again and again, may we be brave enough to risk trust, patient enough to build it slowly, and gentle with ourselves and others when it breaks. Amen, and blessed be.